Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I welcome you all today to the Barony Hall for today's congregation for the conferment of degrees. It's an incredibly special day. We've got graduates here from all over the world. We've got our MBAs from our corporate MBA from Iberdrola and Scottish Power. We have our international MBAs from Bahrain, Dubai, Oman, Kuala Lumpur. We have our part-time MBAs, but we also have our management full-time programs as well. It's an incredibly international cohort that we've got in today's congregation. It's also, we've got our families here, our friends, the loved ones who have travelled all over the world. I was talking to someone up the back from Brazil, come all the way here for the graduation. Incredibly special, taking all that time to enjoy this special day, to celebrate it with you. And it's an incredibly special day for our staff. Our staff have been with you on this journey and taught you and supported you and really worked with you to get you to this point. We have our governing council member here today, a member of court, which we're honoured and delighted to have in presence. And to cap it all off, we have an honorary graduate, Rubina Qureshi, who an incredibly inspiring individual who's championed civil liberties in Scotland. And we're going to hear a bit about her, and then Rubina will come up and say some words as well to our graduating cohort. So we're going to enjoy this celebration. Don't hold back. I think these things are like weddings. Most people only get one graduation. Some get two. But despite that, enjoy it. The minute will pass. Your loved one will come up onto the stage. They'll be here, and it's like a symbolic transition from being a student, from being a graduate, to closing that chapter, to becoming a graduate and moving on to the next part in their life. And those few seconds coming up here are incredibly special. So please celebrate it with them. Celebrate it in your own way and show them your appreciation and your congratulations for what they have achieved. So we're going to start off the celebration. I'm going to declare today's congregation for the conferment of degrees open, and I will invite our Deputy Associate Principal, Professor Churnjit Mann, to introduce and present our honorary graduate. Rubina.
Associate Principal and Executive Dean, I have the honour to present to you Rubina Qureshi. Rubina Qureshi is one of Scotland's pioneering anti-racist and human rights campaigners. Today we honour over 30 years of tireless activism. Rubina Qureshi was born in Glasgow, which has been the home of much of her work. In 1986, she trained in welfare rights to support the long-term unemployed and people on income support to understand their entitlements. This was a period, especially in Glasgow, where the experience of poverty cut deep in communities whose hopes, dreams, and aspirations were constrained by the reality of underemployment and multi-generational experiences of precarity. In 1989, Qureshi turned her training to help Black and Asian communities with housing and welfare rights in an area of the city very close to where I grew up. My father had worked in Glasgow shipyards as a labourer until, like many men working in heavy industry, he fell ill. After he passed away, we were a family entirely dependent on benefits. I remember my mother's worry about how that money would stretch through the week. But a defining part of my mother's experience in Glasgow was that she couldn't speak English and she couldn't read or write. And so when she faced racism in housing, or when a new and complicated form about our benefit entitlements arrived, or when her children faced racism at school, she felt powerless. Part of the reason I can stand here and deliver this oratory is because of the work of people like Rubina Qureshi. Qureshi was foundational to ensuring the realities facing Black and Asian working class communities were being seen in local authorities. In 1992, she was recruited by the Scottish Federation of Housing Associations to lead a unit dedicated to tackling racism in housing. In 1995, Qureshi co-founded Positive Action in Housing, which was the outcome of decades of work to address the impact of racism in the housing sector. In 1995, Positive Action in Housing successfully lobbied to recognise the need of ethnic minority tenants, and as a direct result of this work, they were able to appoint their first race equality officer and secure £8 million of commitment to ethnic minority housing. Positive Action in Housing's successful work and campaigning continued in the following year as they challenged blacklining, a term used to describe sellers and estate agents actively seeking white buyers. Under Qureshi's leadership, Positive Action in Housing never stayed still. It was a pioneering force in supporting refugees and asylum seekers. In response to policies developed to create a hostile environment for new migrants, asylum seekers and refugees, Qureshi's work demonstrated the everyday and ordinary hospitality of people. She has helped to coordinate the first lines of organised support in Scotland for refugees fleeing violence from Syria, Ukraine and Gaza. The Room for Refugees programme is the longest established hosting programme in the UK, which has successfully sheltered over 5,000 refugees. The programme has been key to demonstrating how many ordinary Scots are willing to step up and help communities in need through the basic and incredibly significant act of offering a space in their home to someone in need. Honour degrees are the mechanisms by which the university recognises outstanding contributions to the world we live in. Sometimes that's pushing the frontier of human knowledge, sometimes that's pushing societal frontiers. In the case of Rubina Qureshi, we honour an individual whose commitment to justice has been driven by radical compassion. Graduands, as you leave the hall today, we hope you can take inspiration from Rubina Qureshi and her work. It is with great pleasure, therefore, Associate Principal and Executive Dean, that with the authority of Senate, I ask you to confer upon Rubina Qureshi the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Rubina, it gives me great pleasure to create you Doctor of the University, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Turnji, and good morning, everyone. I would like to start by thanking the University of Strathclyde for this honour and for those kind words, and congratulate everyone who is graduating today. Sorry, I am a bit nervous. I've been asked to speak briefly about my work and to offer some inspiration to my fellow graduates. My mother passed away last spring, and I wish she could have been here. Both she and my father wanted all of their 7 daughters to get an education in this country. This was at a time when it was expected that girls would be married off early, and that was that. However, I was more into art, film, and Bob Dylan. My mother would sometimes say to me, "Why do you get things back to front?" And I didn't quite understand that until today, because it makes more sense as I'm getting a degree without ever having gone to university at the tail end of my career. I'm not an establishment person, so when I got the letter in the post, I was sure that this was some kind of mistake or a hoax. But it's too late now. But already this honour is having an impact. My son and daughter now ask me when the doctor's surgery will be open. One of my friends has put me down as a job reference using the title of doctor before my name. I won't say who you are. And my sister did her pharmaceutical degree in this very university, so I will take great pleasure in reminding her, and she'll not hear the end of this from me. So it is Great to see you, my fellow graduates, enjoying your day with your families and the teaching staff of the university after years of hard work, and now preparing to start your careers to build things and do good in the world. The past 30 years for me have been about fighting against injustice, whether that is racism, dawn raids against refugee families, or the Rwanda policy, or stop the boats, whatever that means. The boats I'd like to see stopped are the ones by billionaires in their yachts. And that has meant speaking up for those without a voice, even if it means standing alone at first. I've been given a platform here because of my human rights work, and if I don't use it, I don't deserve it. So on an occasion like today, it's impossible not to talk about a place where all universities have been destroyed, where art, culture, books, history have been erased, where many of the professors who taught their students and instilled them with hope and love have been tortured or killed, their bodies lying under rubble, their students and their families having met the same fate, toyed with like mice in a trap. It is worth remembering that the state of Palestine is one of the most educated places on the planet, with one of the highest PhDs per capita on earth. The instrument of human rights and international law by which we thought we were governed, we thought were strong enough, but seemed too weak, too incompetent to stop the industrial slaughter of Palestinian children that we have been witnessing for the past 9 months and which continues. The depravity is limitless, and it has changed us all. Those of us in the Palestine movement, and it is a movement, condemn the killing of all civilians. I just wish that those who are complicit in this genocide would do the same. So finally, my fellow graduates, as you go out into the world, just remember, the thing that matters most is others, way beyond yourself. Without integrity, no job out there is worth the money. So follow your heart, and when people tell you not to be too honest, be honest. If they tell you try not to be too brave, that's the time to be brave. Other than that, good luck. Thank you for this honour, and I promise I will use it to make a difference in this world. Free Palestine.
Thank you, Rowena. Okay, you can sit down. So now we're at the next stage of our ceremony, where Professor John Quigley, the Vice Dean of Strathclyde Business School, will present our graduates.
Associate Principal and Executive Dean, in the name of the University and the authority of Senate, I present to you these students for the degree of Master of Research in Research Methodology and Business and Management, Muzdalifa Anzoum. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Sharifa Ali Al-Hijari. Abdullah Ibrahim Abdullah Al-Khalifa. Hessa Adnan Al-Meresi. Anisa Refia Al-Sami Hiji. Borja Inesio Alvarez Fanjul. Thiago Vaz Porto André. Anas alias A. Bakshi. Muaz Ilyas A. Bakshi. Nuri Kobos. Gerson Rodriguez Cordero, Jr. Veronica Dasher. Peter Durings. Guillermo Fernandez. Erica Maria Rodriguez Ferreira. Cristina Anisora Fundulia. Sarah Lindsay Grant. Kimberly Ingles Jackson. Nabil Hussain Kankar. Blair James Ledgerwood Cruikshank. Sixto Hipolito Lorenz Zabala. Ander Makazaga. Gonzalo Marin Chalcon. Chris McGinnis. Scott Barden McMaster. Anne Margaret McSherry. Dylan Oliver. Rennie Miguel Marirez Mariod. Magda Julius Rodriguez. Mohammed Harif Hafiq bin Rahimi. Vunikias Rossetti. Maria San Pedro. Alvaro Simancas. Cameron Smith. Laura Paulina Velasco Cabrera. Mujahed Abdel Jawad. Nazra Sultan Al-Batashi. Hamid Musa Al-Hassini. Nasser Saif Al-Mamari. Sayed Salim Saif Al-Marhubi. Abdullah Al-Omari. Maria Abdul Rasul Al-Zajali. Sohela Abdul Nabi Othman Al-Zajali. Elaine Mary Coyle. Osman Joshua Dunkunha. Gavin Lee Edwards. Raphael Erb. Jamie French. Elizabeth Gallagher. Martin Stephen Haberfield. Amir Hassan Abdul Wahab. Gwyneth Heaney. Andrew Homer. Zayed Kamal Koch. James McKay. Johnny McGee Doyle. Brian John McLean. Boy Eo Ong. Eduardo Luis Paleras Chiaro. Nikolaos Papadimas. Darko Petrovic. Srija Ramanath. Ramya Ravichandran. Ramshah Sohail. Craig Graham Valentine. Matthias Vetter. For the degree of Master of Science in Business and Management, Harshal Hamant Jadhav. Gauthami Kupan. Lithai Thu Gyang. Lina Mazin M. Shafi. In International Management, Saloni Sudhir Bandurga. Sahil Dattatraya Chite. Dharani Dharan Dhanasaka. Rajat Mad Hana. Shamadan Upa. In strategic finance, Hara E. Tea Abi Abdullah Al-Habhab. Ali Adnan Ali Raed. Alia Nasser Darwish. Hamid Humeda. Ibrahim Abdullah Jazi. Zainab Kamis. Sarah Kazam Patankar. Muhammad Salman Al-Balushi. In Human Resource Management, Ratika Dolas. Hajra Mahmood. Janibab Zainab Trai. In International Human Resource Management, Asawari Arvind Amparwar. Zua Guang Li. Oluloseya Ireti Deo Ogunder. Monisha Ramisha. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Business Law and Human Resource Management, Marwa Siddiq. In Hospitality and Tourism Management, Deyanku Nur Bazima Binte Pengiran Haji Maham Masudwara Ada Fitri. Kyla Cunningham. Erin Louise Daniels. Rebecca DeJulius. Anton Timothy Webb. In Hospitality and Tourism Management and Business Enterprise, Anna Hope Bennett. In Hospitality and Tourism Management and Finance, Orla McConville. In Hospitality and Tourism Management and Human Resource Management, Laura Docherty. Gloria Gormley. Suzanne Elizabeth Mowat. In Hospitality and Tourism Management and Marketing, Jack Lawrenson. Kirsten Grace May McCulloch. Erin Louise Sharp. Samantha Upton. In Hospitality and Tourism Management and Marketing with International Study, Millie Rose Kane. Giuliano Piacentini. In Human Resource Management, Dion Louise Bicelli. Cameron Blythe. Katie Jane Cadenhead. Emma Carroll. Kelly Chan. Frankie Luke Dobinson. Ryan Fitzgerald. Martina Jaskovic. Ellis Higgins. Rachel Hyatt. Kirsty Ann Hunter. Fraser Gordon Keane. Sophie Kelly. Hanan Sehal A. Kurdi. Corey Wing Heli. Nathan McIntyre. Kirsty Patricia Murray. Peter Salih. Rohel Tehab. Rabia Wahid. Eve Whiteside. In Human Resource Management and Business Analysis and Technology, Mohammed Adi Din. In Human Resource Management and Business Enterprise, Jawa TFA El Ali. In Human Resource Management and Business Law, Anissa Shah. In Human Resource Management and Hospitality and Tourism Management, Hannah Margaret Hall. Katie Olivia Ray. In Human Resource Management and Marketing, Holly Archibald. Rachel Alex Clark. Julia Veronica Torres. Holly Matheson. Daniela Owens. Kate Ann Reed. Ebony Robertson. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Shaping Teng. Nicha Balachandran. Manuel Aguen Agra Arina.
Distinguished guests, esteemed faculty, proud families, friends, and most importantly, our fantastic, brilliant, inspiring Strathclyde graduates of 2024. Congratulations, you've done it. Today we gather to celebrate an extraordinary milestone in your lives, your families' lives, and also our staff here on the stage. As you sit here adorned in your graduation regalia, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the journey that has brought you to this point. Those of you who started our programme as a part-time Masters started during the coronavirus restrictions. Your learning journey was online. It was done within the confines of your own room. An incredibly difficult start to your studies. And each of you, irrespective of that beginning, has shown remarkable dedication, resilience, and intellect to reach this day. You've weathered those challenges, probably harder than any other cohort has weathered in recent memory. You've embraced the opportunities, and you've grown in ways that you may not yet fully realise. This is a special occasion, but what makes these series of congregations even more special is that you're all graduating in Strathclyde's Diamond Jubilee anniversary year, marking 60 years since the late Queen Elizabeth II awarded the Royal Charter that conferred university status on our institution. Through this charter, the Royal College of Science and Technology became the University of Strathclyde, the first university to be established in Scotland in nearly 400 years, and the UK's first technological university. This rich history is a foundation upon which you've built your education. Strathclyde was founded in 1796 during the Scottish Enlightenment through the bequest of Professor John Anderson, who, believing that knowledge for all, for the greater good, he wished to establish a place of useful learning. And we've remained faithful to this founding principle, which continues to guide us today as we strive to make a positive impact on society and the world. And whenever you see our crest, regularly you'll see a place of useful learning there. That's what guides us, and it guides us in the way that we do our research, in the way that we deliver our programmes. As you graduate today, you join a long line of distinguished alumni who have gone on to excel in their chosen fields. This includes notable names such as physician, missionary, and explorer David Livingstone, television pioneer John Logie Baird, Lady Elise Angelini, the former Lord Advocate of Scotland, the former leader of the Scottish Conservative Party, Baroness Annabel Goldie, Debbie Crosbie, the Chief Exec of Nationwide Building Society, and entrepreneur, philanthropist, and long-time supporter of Strathclyde, Sir Tom Hunter. Now, we all know, as Rubina was saying, you're graduating at a pivotal moment in history. The world is rapidly evolving, presenting both unprecedented challenges and extraordinary opportunities. As graduate of our master's programmes, you're uniquely positioned to shape the future of business and society. Wherever you come from, whatever your background is, whatever your aspirations are, remember that you're not leaving just with a degree. You're departing with a powerful set of tools. Your time at Strathclyde and your journey here has equipped you with more than just knowledge. You've developed critical thinking skills. You've learned to innovate, and you've honed your ability to lead with empathy and vision. And these are the skills that will set you apart in the years to come. And as you step into the next chapter of your lives, I want to just leave you with a few key messages from me as a presiding officer. First of all, embrace change and innovation. The world and the business world is evolving at an unprecedented pace. Technologies that seemed like science fiction a few years ago are now reshaping industries and societies. AI is evolving on a monthly basis. As Strathclyde graduates, you've been trained to not just adapt to change, but to drive it. So embrace new ideas, challenge the status quo, and never stop learning. Your ability to innovate and lead change will be your greatest asset in the years to come. The second thing, which echoes Rubina's point, is wherever you are, lead with purpose and integrity. Your education has prepared you to be more than just successful professionals. It's prepared you to be ethical leaders. In a world grappling with complex challenges, from climate change to social inequality to the geopolitical tensions that we're seeing, we need leaders who can balance profit with purpose. And as you climb the ladder of success, remember to lift others with you. Your decisions will not just impact bottom lines, they'll impact people's lives and our planet's future. So lead with integrity, lead with empathy, and a commitment to make a positive difference. And wherever you find yourself, lead a life of service for others. The third thing I want to say is create your own path. This degree that you've got isn't the destination, it's a launch pad. The future is not something that happens to you, it's something that you create. And whether you join a multinational corporation, you launch your own startup, or pursue a career in public service, remember that you have the power to forge your own path. Don't be afraid to take risks. Challenge conventions and reimagine what's possible. And you're graduating from a university that is at the forefront of research and innovation. The University of Strathclyde is a research-intensive institution committed to creating new knowledge and understanding to tackle the challenges of our times. And this isn't just a self-aggrandising claim. In the recent research excellence framework run by the UK government, assessing the quality of research of universities in the UK, almost 90% of Strathclyde's research was assessed as world-leading or internationally excellent. We had the second highest impact quality profile in Scotland, demonstrating the effect our research has on our everyday lives. And indeed, just last week, the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings 2024 placed the University of Strathclyde at joint 25th in the world out of nearly 2,000 universities for our positive contribution to achieving the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Our commitment to innovation extends beyond our research. In the near future, we will be creating another innovation centre named in honour of one of our most successful alumni, an MBA graduate, a graduate that undertook a PhD here in international business. That's Dr. Charles Hwang, who donated £50 million to the University of Strathclyde. That's the largest ever gift a Scottish university has received. And this will transform our former Students' Union building. Some of you may remember this if you've ever graduated from here. And they're going to transform that into a key element of the university's technology and innovation zone. It will allow more businesses to co-locate with the university. It'll improve the productivity of those companies, develop world-class talent and technology, and accelerate inclusive economic growth. As you leave these halls, you join a global network of over 210,000 Strathclyde alumni who are making their mark across the world. From pioneering entrepreneurs to influential policymakers, our graduates are at the forefront of positive change. And you now carry the torch of this proud legacy. Every one of our successful graduates have all sat in the exact same place that you're sitting. Your business school continues to excel in the global stage. We were ranked amongst Europe's top 90 business schools in the Financial Times ranking. We were the highest placed business school in Scotland. Our executive MBA is in the top 100 in the world. And this year, according to the CEO magazine rankings, we were recognised as a Tier 1 global MBA and 15th in the world for executive MBAs. But our achievements go beyond rankings. We don't live for the rankings. This year, Strathclyde Business School secured a silver level Athena Swan status for our work to advance gender equality. The business school also maintained our triple accreditation. We had 2 accreditation visits in the last 2 months, and that puts your business school into the top elite 0.7% of business schools worldwide that have that triple accreditation. Our students continue to shine. In competitions with 3 Strathclyde students, they won the Chartered Institute of Marketing's The Pitch competition for a second year running. Our hospitality and tourism management programmes, which many of you have graduated from, they've been reaccredited by the Institute of Hospitality, affirming their relevance to industry needs and high standards. And looking to the future, this university is expanding its reach globally. We've recently just announced initiatives to expand our teaching activity in Bahrain and in Saudi Arabia. We're partnering with Princess Noura bint Abdul Rahman University in Riyadh. That's the world's largest women's university, with over 35,000 students. And we'll be upskilling women in technology, engineering, science, business and the humanities. And our first programme that we'll be launching there in early 2025 will be our Executive MBA. And earlier I spoke about our past alumni who have impacted the world. But when I look around this room, in front of me and behind me, I see people and I know people who have the power to impact the world in the future. I see future CEOs, entrepreneurs, thought leaders and change makers. I see individuals who will revolutionise industries, create jobs, solve global challenges, and most importantly, inspire the next generation. I see people who will make this world a better place. And again, remember that success is not measured solely by titles or financial rewards, but by the impact that you make. And as you build your careers, ask yourselves, how can I use my skills to create value, not just for myself, but for society? How can I be a force for positive change in my community and beyond? We know that the road ahead will not always be smooth. You'll face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. We all do. But in those moments, remember this day in the Barony Hall. Remember the resilience that got you here, the knowledge that you've gained, and the network of support that you have around you. Your family, your cohort, graduating cohort, the staff, and the 210,000 alumni across the world. You are Strathclyde graduates. You're innovative, you're collaborative, you're ambitious, you're people-oriented, and you're bold. You have the power to overcome any obstacle and turn challenges into opportunities. And as you leave this ceremony, step into the world as Strathclyde graduates, as Strathclyders. We call them Strathclyders. I want you to feel a sense of excitement and limitless possibility. The future is yours to shape, and I have no doubt that you will do so with brilliance, integrity, and purpose. And in closing, let me say this. The world needs your talents, your ideas, and your leadership now more than ever. Go forth with confidence, think big, and never, ever underestimate your ability to make a difference. Your Strathclyde education has given you wings. Now it's time to fly. Class of 24, congratulations. Well done. So we get to the end of our ceremony today. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's always a wonderful experience. It's so uplifting just to get to this point in your journey. And as I said, it's not the end. It's just the start. And we always say that when you graduate, it's not just you that graduates, it's your family that graduates. And I think today we saw the youngest ever graduate getting capped. I'm sure they'll be looking for a certificate at some point. So normally we, if the weather's good enough, we will do an academic procession to the Teaching and Learning building. I'm waiting for a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We've got a thumbs up. That's our digital signal as a technological university. So if you please be upstanding, we're going to have our academic procession, and I hope to see you in the Teaching and Learning building. Thank you very much.